here we are. All right, so this is, I'm just gonna show you how to make a camera follow an object and also show you that you can actually use that to get the camera to animate a little bit more smoothly than just keyframing the camera by itself. You can also turn off the visibility of that object, of course, too, once you have it in place. So if I turn on off here under visibility, it's now off. But for now, I'm going to leave it on. So I can turn it back on. Just know that that's an option. You can also, in terms of creating an object, you could create a locator instead of a polygon. And the locator is invisible, but you can also get it to follow a path and have a camera follow it. Okay, so how do you do this? So just a couple little things. So just notice that both of my screens, both of my windows here are updating. If yours aren't, you can always change that in your timeline settings. You can click on here for your timeline settings. You can also get to them under Windows, Settings, Preferences, Time Slider. All right, you can check that here. You can have it either set to active or all. You can also have your loop only go once or continuous. You can also change this to 24 frames times 1, which will play more accurately when it's just a simple animation. With a generative animation like grass, you may want to choose it, play every frame. Okay, remember you have to press save in this window when you close it. So now both windows are updating. All right, so how do you do this? Let's just hide both this. I'm going to hide this. I'm going to just zoom in on it here, hide the camera, hide the ball, and hide the path. I'm just going to press H. And I'm also going to hide the other path so it's not in our way. That one was from before. And if you want, even while you're working for now, you can turn off, let's go here. And you can also turn off your lights if they're in your way. You can do that under here, but I'm going to leave mine. I'm going to look at it from top view just quickly to make my line. This is my doorway, so let's create a CV curve. You know how to do this. You can have it do any kind of curve you wish, but I'm going to do mine sort of like that. Of course, you can always redirect that if you wish later by editing those points. Those first two have a little bit of a different visual there. Okay, and go back to object mode. All right, so we can then raise this up because that's going to be right on the ground. I can raise it up. You see here that first starting point is also more up in the air, I believe. Let's look at it from the side. I can press 4, and you can see that endpoint is a little bit more up in the air. If you wanted to bring that down, right now it's got a little bit of a funny, I'm just going to say component object, and you can bring it down to be more in line with the others. It's really up to you. You can reshape that line however you wish. Okay, so for now, maybe I'll just leave it. So it's going to do a little roller coaster there, which might be kind of fun. So then you can create an object. Again, you could create a locator if you just want to have it start and just be invisible when you render it. But I'm just gonna say that I want to have it follow a sphere for now. I'm going to bring the sphere up and out, and then you can attach it to that line. You can press F to focus in on it if you want. It doesn't really necessarily matter where it is to begin with, because once you attach it to the line, it'll orient itself according to that line. You could reshape it if you want here. Maybe you can make it a little flatter if you wish, and then maybe it's like kind of more like a frisbee or something. Who knows? Okay, so now we can attach it to the line. Shift click the line, change into animation mode, go up to constrain because you're going to constrain it to the path. Look at your settings for attached to motion path. You could always reset them if you want. I'm going to have it start and end at a specific time as opposed to being the whole time line here. So I'm going to start at 1, I'm going to end at 300, and you can change some of these things if you wish. Attach, and then if you look through here, you can see it's now following along that path. You can also see that it has an ease in and an ease out. So let's just I'm just going to hide that camera too. That one was from the earlier thing that we were doing. Let's take that ease in and ease out. You don't have to do this, but in case you want to do it, look at the graph editor under animation editors. Select both keyframes and take out, you can make this a little bigger if you wish. You're going to, it's a flat tangent right now. You can see the tangents are flat. I'm going to make it a linear tangent, which means it doesn't have any ease in or ease out. All right, so now the speed should be fairly consistent throughout. Let's make a new camera. to create camera is just a regular camera. Now we will have to orient this camera in relationship to the ball. We want it to be looking at the ball, so we can orient it to look at the ball. Let's also, sometimes it's a little hard to see exactly where things are. You can have it come up. So you want it to start by looking at the ball. Now, if you want that to be a little easier, let's open up two windows here. So we have, that's the regular perspective window. This is 4 up, and this is 2 up. 2 ups can be really helpful for animating cameras. I'm going to go here to the word panels, perspective, and I'm going to choose this new camera that I made, which I believe is, let's see, what is that? Camera 2. So look through camera 2, and now we can see that it's, we can see where the camera is. So you can then move this camera over here. We can also turn on the resolution gate on this camera so that we can see, maybe I'll make that a little bigger. We can actually see where it is, and then you could kind of take a look at it and move it in and out. You could rotate it in a specific direction if you wish. Okay, so that it has the right feeling to you. All right, so yours, you know, you might want to do something that's has some more, you know, a kind of a different sort of flair to it if you wish. I'll let you choose, but just that's how I'm going to do mine. Okay, so then what we need to do is parent the camera to the rock. And in this case, we're going to choose the parent first, which is the rock. Let's say it's a rock or a frisbee, and the child second. That's how parenting works. In other forms of parenting, like we're going to use the animation constraint, and in this case you do, like I just said, choose the parent first, the child second. Sometimes it's the other way around, but in this case it is parent first, child second. Go up to the top for constrain, parent, and now you should have the camera following the whatever this is, frisbee. Again, if your timeline's not updating, you can go to update view all, cancel, so you can see it through both screens here, and then it's going to curve around and it's going to take its rest here at the end. There. If you don't like where it is, you could always, you know, change that by going in and changing where the pathway is here, where the pathway ends. So I'm going to just move back a little bit, and you could say, okay, I'm going to click on my line, control vertex. I could say I want that pathway to end you know, somewhere maybe over here, and then let's see how that looks when, you know, it's up to you, but you know, you could do something like that. You could have this move back, this one move back if you wish. You can move in between these points with your arrow keys on your keyboard. You know, maybe you can play around with it, but just know that you're not stuck with that, because you can play with it, and it can be kind of fun. And you can also play, you could play in terms of the time too, how long it takes to do that path, but I'm going to leave it as it is. And yeah, let's just see what it looks like when we render, just say from this view. Your camera, you have to have it active here in order for it to know to render through that view. So for instance, if I last clicked in this view, my camera's going to render that view. So you can see it's rendering the roof. But if I've last clicked on this view, it's going to render that view. But if you're going to render out stills, which we're going to do in the next one, you do have to choose that camera. Okay, so you'll have to do that here by going to your camera choices and choose your camera shape too. All right, so that's it for this. Again, if you want to turn off the visibility of this object, you just do that here, and that way you could have it follow that path. Oops, excuse me. And it would just be following an invisible line. That's it. Remember to save frequently. Also remember to have your project set properly, and we can talk more about that later. Thanks.